bienvenidos al YouTube Live de Indie Rocks. Estamos con Joseph Mount de Metronomy. How are you?
Hey, I'm great, thanks. I'm very good.
Hey.
Hola.
Hola, tequila. I mean, it's nice to have you here. First of all, thank you so much for taking the time.
It's a pleasure. I'm really happy to be here. Like, I mean, it's a shame that I'm not with the band and we're not going to do a gig, but I'm very happy to be here.
That's what I was analyzing. I mean, it's not normal for bands to come and not play, but you have some special reasons and heavy reasons, right, to be here.
Well, like, I mean, there's a new album. But I think it's because, like, Mexico is it's a very important place for us. So, like, yeah, I come here to do some promotion and see my friends.
You were here like last year and the year before, right?
Yeah, we did a show last year, and then I think Corona Capital was the year before.
Yeah, it was 2017, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So how you will never forget that, I guess.
I will never forget it. It's true. It's true. It was amazing. It was like, I think, you know, like when we're in different countries and people say like, oh, so do you have any memorable, like, what's your most memorable concert? Like, that's the one we use.
Yeah, Corona Capital 2017. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of
Of
translating.
course, I'm going to have a sip of coffee.
Le doy la bienvenida. Yeah, go on. Le doy la bienvenida y dice, hey, hola amigos, porque estábamos hablando de que no sabe casi nada de español, pero bueno, hace el intento. Y dice, bueno, pues estamos felices de estar en México, no vinimos con la banda completa, no vamos a tocar, pero aquí estamos haciendo promo porque vamos a sacar un nuevo disco que viene ya en septiembre y además México es un lugar muy especial para nosotros. Le digo, vinieron el año pasado y el antepasado, sí, el pasado hicimos un show pequeño y el antepasado Corona Capital 2017. Digo, no se te va a olvidar nunca, no, nunca se me va a olvidar. Cuando me preguntan en otros países cuál ha sido mi tocada más memorable, es el Corona Capital 2017. Así que creo que podemos estar orgullosos de ser la tocada más memorable de Metronomy. So, okay, new album, and you recently released kind of a couple of singles here and there, but Salted Caramel Ice Cream had a video which is really great, and the song is also really great. It's kind of bluesy, a different kind of sound. How did you end up making a bluesy song?
Bluesy song.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I guess like it's not. The structure is like a blues. It doesn't really feel like a blues, does it? But I mean, I started making a song. Like, I started making the track, and I thought, like, this is kind of ridiculous. This is a ridiculous idea. And then quite often, like, those are the songs which in the end you feel like, oh, I have to just see this through to the end. And I kind of got it into my head that I was making, like, a wedding, like a song that would get played at weddings, you know?
Oh, really?
Like, yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, like, it's just like a fun kind of track which is supposed to, I guess, like, remind you of lots of other things, like other songs, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of feels very obvious in a way, but I'm not describing it very well. It's about ice cream.
No, because it feels really original. With everything you're saying, it feels really kind of a weird Metronomy song.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's cool.
I mean, I think, like, on the so the new album, Metronomy Forever, like that like Salted Caramel Ice Cream is probably the most, like, kind of overtly, like, pop track on that album. So yeah, there's other stuff on there which feels much more like, I guess, the English Riviera, that kind of period. Like, it's a kind of, the record has kind of every type of Metronomy on there.
Okay, I'm gonna try and do this, but I'm not gonna be so. Yeah. Bueno, pues entonces hablamos de que ha sacado varios sencillos, entre ellos Salted Caramel Ice Cream, que tiene una base como muy bluesy, se oye como una canción de Metronomy, pero más extraña. Y dice, es muy graciosa la historia con esa canción. Estaba tratando como de pensar que estaba escribiendo una canción para una boda. Pero que tenía que acabarla porque era algo que tenía que hacer. Tiene una base de blues, pero no se oye como blues, y sí es como la más popera de todas las canciones que van a salir en el nuevo disco. Y bueno, pues es la más extraña que hay por ahí, es la más que se oye como más, digamos, con un tono más comercial y demás, y es como un poco genérica. Le digo, no, se oye muy original. Es como una canción rara de Metronomy, pero muy original. So it came with a video, which is really funny.
Thanks.
Would you say fun?
I think, yeah, funny.
It's a tiny people and...
Oh, no, that's the other video. That the tiny people is lately.
Yeah.
Salted Caramel Ice Cream is the ice cream.
Oh, yeah, the ice cream one. And then you have the tiny people one.
Exactly, the tiny people
But you're
one.
kind of in a fun kind of video vibe.
In a So I directed those videos. That's my first
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. The first 3 are the ones that I've done, and like, I guess the thing is, videos. I feel like at the moment videos should be kind of like just entertaining, So yeah, I don't know. It's nice to see the band and our characters, and yeah, it's fun. We're in a fun mood.
And did you mention, I read somewhere the song from Rammstein,
Oh yeah,
kind of inspiration-wise?
yeah. So that I had this idea for, so like that video of the first song by Rammstein is like them in a coal mine. Well, not a coal mine. They're mining it's like drugs or something.
What?
Anyway, they're in like a mine and they're mining. They're trying to get stuff to give to Snow White or something. Anyway, and I just thought I quite like the idea of like a completely white cave, like someone in a white cave, and yeah, like salt, like a salt cave.
Okay.
So yeah, it's kind of like
actually exists?
it's like yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not how I think it's for different kind of. It's not the salt you put in your food, but anyway, I just thought it was kind of a kind of nice image. The idea of someone in a kind of completely white cave mining for salt.
How did it feel to finally direct some videos?
It was really cool. Like it was, I've always like loved watching the kind of process of making videos, and I've always secretly wanted to do it. But you kind of feel like if you're doing music, you feel like you should like. It feels a bit like you should stick. Stay in your lane.
Direct your video and
Well,
sing the song, and
I know. But then I think finally I kind of had the confidence to do it. Yeah, it was really good fun.
Ok. Bueno, pues le hablo de los videos, porque tiene unos videos donde está, por ejemplo, chiquito y salen de un cassette y demás. Y me dice, de hecho, dirigí esos 2 videos. Son mis primeros videos que yo dirigí y me la pasé súper bien dirigiéndolos. Y aparte, pues sí, estoy como en una etapa divertida de los videos de Metronomy. Y bueno, pues siento que si vas a hacer videos en 2019 deberían de ser divertidos, ¿no? Porque eso es lo que busca la gente ahora, ¿no? Y de hecho le menciono a Son de Rammstein, el video, donde agarró inspiración y ellos estaban en una mina, como en una mina de sal, salt mine, en una mina de sal, como sacando una sustancia blanca, no así que si drogas o algo así. Entonces quería inspirarse un poquito en eso para hacer estos nuevos videos de Metronomy. Le digo que cómo se sintió dirigiéndolos y dice, al principio no sabía porque de repente son muchas cosas, ¿no? Haces música y siento que deberías de quedarte en la música y no tratar de absorber todo, pero pues era algo que tenía que hacer y al final lo hice. Si tienen preguntas para Metronomy, por cierto, para Joseph, pueden hacerlas y aquí las apuntamos y de parte de quién y se las hacemos. I'm just asking for some questions. So I took September, it's the month where
September the 13th is the day. Friday the 13th.
Why did you pick that? I mean,
had no choice.
Yeah, no? It's not superstitious or anything?
No, my birthday is on the 11th of September.
Oh, congratulations.
But no, I don't know. It just seemed like the right time. I'm sure it was an incredibly boring decision as to why it's that day.
No, I mean, people's imagination can fly, which can be good. But I took a look into the track list, and it's 17 songs. That's not usual.
No. It's like a Drake record, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know, Beyonce or Lemonade or whatever.
Yeah. But then 17 tracks, like some of them are kind of segue, like they're kind of ambient things, like they're not. I mean, there's a lot of songs.
Like interludes. And
there's a couple of interludes, yeah. But it's supposed to be a kind of, I don't know, like an indulgent record, I guess.
So you think and you believe in the concept of an album still in 2019? Because lots of people don't.
I mean, like, the thing is that albums are, like, in terms of when you're making music, and it's nice to, like, it's basically a format which helps you, like, focus your work. So I think, it's like even the biggest kind of artists, musicians are still making albums, and I think that's because it's like a really useful format. But I kind of stream music, and I listen to albums, and I think people do the same. Like, still at the moment, it's like I think it's a bit of a in between world. You know, people like albums, people listen to them, and some people don't.
Good, we're still on time.
Yeah.
It's to put out some albums,
Yeah.
right?
But but I think as long as musicians find that kind of format useful, then they'll keep doing it. You know.
Yeah. Ok, here I go. Bueno, pues básicamente el disco va a salir el 13 de septiembre, Metronomy Forever, y trae 17 tracks, lo cual se me hizo mucho porque hoy en día la gente o hace EPs o saca sencillos y tal. Entonces me dice, sí, hay unos interludios que no son canciones como tal, pero al final es todo el viaje del disco. Le digo, entonces todavía crees en el disco como concepto. Y dice, sí, claro que sí, hay gente que le gusta escuchar discos, hay gente que no le gusta escuchar discos, pero todavía estamos en medio, todavía podemos. Yo me gusta streamear, escucho música en streaming, pero pues también escucho discos completos y los disfruto también. Es todo un viaje, es todo un concepto. Así que sí, Metronomy todavía cree en los discos, lo cual es bueno. So, I mean, I also know that you're a big remixer. Which is like two counterparts of music, produce your own music or remix the music of others.
Yeah, I mean, like, I did a lot of remixes. I mean, the like more recently, I haven't done so many. I tried to do one for Mark Ronson.
Are you kidding me? He's great.
Yeah, but they didn't use it. They didn't like it.
What?
I don't know. I don't know if they didn't like it, but it was a song. It's a song with Camila Cabello.
Oh yeah, from Fifth Harmony or something like that. Fifth Harmony.
Yeah. But maybe something will happen with it in the end. But yeah, no, I did lots of remixes. I mean, more recently, I've done like, I produced the Robin album, the Swedish singer Robin. So like that's, I guess production is more what I do than remixes at the moment. Yeah.
So you've remixed all kinds of music, like from Lady Tron to Lady Gaga, you know? So it's quite extreme.
Yeah. And it was something that I used to do lots of when I was, when I was starting out. It was a really great way of kind of people hearing about Metronomy, really. So I mean, I used to love doing it, and now I guess I haven't got so much time to do it.
I mean, maybe.
And when I do it, people don't like it.
Oh, but please explain. You send the remix because you want to do it, and then you get an email back that says, it's not good enough.
No, like, I think so. I've done one for Foles, which they like.
Oh.
So that will happen. That's coming out.
Are you serious?
Yeah. But
I love those.
I made it into like a kind of drum and bass track.
Because they usually like remixes with Solomon and kind of electronic music heavy remixes, Foles, right?
I don't know.
They do. They do. So that's good.
Yeah. But like, so this, I mean, what happens is, either someone asks you, like, will you do a remix? And you say, yeah. And then you send it to them and they like it. Or you say, can I do a remix? And then you send it to them. And they say, yeah. And then you send it to them. They're like, we don't like it.
Does it hurt your feelings or you're used to it?
No, it doesn't hurt my feelings. Ultimately, like, it's there. They're making a huge mistake.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna regret this.
Exactly,
I know. Bueno, pues estamos hablando de la parte de los remixes porque es muy buen remixero. Dice que últimamente no ha hecho tantos remixes, pero a lo largo de su vida ha hecho muchos remixes. Y bueno, últimamente decidió mandar un remix de Mark Ronson con Camila Cabello y pues desgraciadamente le regresaron el email y le dijeron, no nos gustó, no lo vamos a usar. Le digo que si lastima sus sentimientos, dice, no, es su mala decisión y se van a arrepentir de ello. Sin embargo, sí mandé uno para los Foles, ese sí va a suceder, así que pendientes por un remix de Metronomy a los Foles próximamente. Y pues le digo que he hecho remixes de todo tipo, desde Lady Tron hasta Lady Gaga, y que son muchos extremos. Y dice, pues sí, al final del día es otra disciplina, es otra forma de hacer las cosas. Y bueno, pues últimamente he estado muy ocupado para remixear, but you will still be remixing in the future, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
So it's not a must.
No. It's like, it's fun to do occasionally, like.
So producing, remixing.
I prefer producing, much more. Yeah, producing is much more like, you get to like develop a relationship with the person, and it's much more kind of involved. It's cool.
Yeah, and producing your music versus producing music for someone else.
I mean, like, it's doing it for other people is really interesting because you kind of, you have to like get into their world, and their style, and it's like less pressure because you're not kind of representing. you're not trying to say anything about yourself. You're doing it for someone else. So like, I think working with other people is cool.
Ok. Entonces, lo que dice básicamente es que prefiere producir porque es otro mundo. Si prefieres producir música tuya o música de alguien más, bueno, yo prefiero producir la mía porque para alguien más tienes que meterte en su mundo, en su estilo, en su onda, y finalmente si produces tu propia música es tu estilo. So I think we have a couple of questions. Ulises, ¿tenemos preguntas? ¿Sí? Gracias. Yeah, quite a bit of questions. Yeah. Okay, this is amazing. We don't get this crowd,
really?
Okay.
He's just written them down.
No, because we have the person. I mean, Casi Almazán.
Cassie
Almazán.
Almazan.
She wants to know the video, which video you think is the most original and fun that has been put out there this year.
By anyone.
I think by anyone.
You know what? I just saw like the 1975 video, the new one.
Okay.
For
Haven't seen that.
a song called People. I think, are they big here, the 1975? Yeah.
You know.
No, okay.
Not as big as you, but
Yes. They have a new song called People, and the video for that is by this guy called Warren Fu, who's done like the Daft Punk and Strokes videos and all that stuff, and it's really good. It's really cool. In the video, the only problem is the band look a bit like Placebo in the video, which is kind of a weird.
So that's a problem.
Well, no, it's just like it's kind of an interesting.
Don't look like Placebo.
It's an interesting stylistic choice.
Okay.
But anyway, like the video is really good. Yeah.
Okay.
I have nothing against Placebo, by the way.
No, but I totally get you. Yeah, weird choice. Bueno, entonces dice que su video favorito, 1975, 1975, a video called People.
People, I think the song.
People, cree que se llama People. Y bueno, pues en el video pues está interesante. Lo único es que la banda se ve un poco rara porque se ven así como placebo. Parece como placebo. Yeah, go on.
No, I was gonna say, there's also a song by like this UK rapper called Octavian, and he's got a track called Bet, I think, which is really good as
You
well.
have good memory.
The video is very good. Yeah. Sorry.
Entonces,
Carry on.
Octavian. Where is he from?
London.
Okay, London. Octavian from London. Octavian de Londres es un rapero de Londres y sacó un video que se llama Bet. Y también ese le gusta mi querida Casi Almazán. So,
Thanks, Cassie.
Dude Mata, who is sitting right there, wants to know, when are you coming to play? Yeah, when are you giving us a concert?
I don't know. We're like obviously planning, but I don't know when.
Well, after the release of the record,
Oh, yeah. Well,
there
yeah,
must
yeah.
be a tour, no? No? It's a
Something
taboo?
like things that happen. No, things are being organized always,
But you
and we
are
can't
coming.
wait to come here. So like we're gonna come here. I don't know when.
Bueno, Dude Mata, dicen que no saben cuándo. Se están haciendo planes, pero todavía no saben bien cuándo van a venir a tocar. Entonces, paciencia para ver cuándo va a haber una fecha de Metronomy. ¿Okay?
Anything can happen. Though, like anything can happen.
Cualquier cosa puede pasar. Puede pasar cualquier cosa. I don't know. I feel I'm missing something. No.
No, it's because in
Okay.
the last interview when the guy asked about live, Alan there was just like,
What?
I don't know why. I think he's got
it
a
wasn't
problem.
me, it was that guy. Bueno, sí, es que ya traen como un chiste local de que en las entrevistas les pregunten, ¿no? Cuando van a tocar. Por acá, ¿admiras okay. Do you admire any Mexican bands? Well, admire, no.
I don't really know
Listen
of
to.
many, you know, like who's Mexican? I remember like
Do you know Café Tacuba? No, Molotov,
that sounds familiar.
Zoé. Do you know Carlos Santana? That's the best I can do. You know Santana,
love
right? So
Santana.
he's kind of Mexican, right?
When we years ago, I did a remix for I don't know how to say it. Jimena.
What?
There you go.
Oh,
Is that her
she's
name?
good. Yeah.
I did a remix of one of her songs, and she actually performed with us when we played in Mexico like years ago. But yeah, I did a remix of her for her a long time ago.
So you like her music?
Yes.
Good.
But
Jimena Sariñana. Ese es porque tocó con ellos en algún momento cuando vinieron a tocar y le hizo un remix a su música. Ese es como que la banda o el artista mexicano que conoce y que le gusta su música. Which is your favorite Mexican food? And cheers from Chile. Lara Ellis. So,
I mean, like, my favorite Mexican food.
if you have one, you don't have to lie. If you don't like it, if it's heavy
No,
on your
I actually
stomach,
did the great fun thing about coming. Like, every time I come here, the thing I find the most enjoyable is when you go, like, if you're in a hotel and you go for breakfast, and there's like crisps for breakfast, like chips. You know, like there's I don't know what the dish is called, but it's like, you know, little tortilla chips, and
I
then
know,
it's kind
chilaquiles.
is that what it's called?
That's it. You get the chips, the tortilla chips with some salsa.
Yeah,
and cream and
it's
cheese.
breakfast. Yeah, and I just find it like it just makes me laugh every morning.
But do you like the
I like the taste. Yeah, I like the taste. But I guess like I think once when we played in Puebla, we were taken out for like a proper, like, you know how everyone says like, oh, you can have some proper Mexican food.
Yeah, this is
like
the real
what you
thing.
what you think is Mexican food is like American Mexican food. And I remember we went out and for the first time had like the leaf, like what's it, you know, the cactus leaf.
The nopal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without
It wasn't very nice.
No, because it's kind of, you know, it's saliva-ish.
Oh yeah, no, but I mean, but it was an experience. But I guess like, you know, that kind of I like the proper the proper traditional
Good.
Mexican food.
Bueno, pues básicamente dice que siempre le da mucha risa que va al buffet del desayuno en el hotel y se encuentra los chilaquiles, que él ve como papas fritas, pero en realidad pues son cachos de tortilla frita con salsa y demás, y eso le gusta, pero fueron a tocar a Puebla y lo llevaron a comer tradicional comida mexicana, lo disfrutó mucho, excepto el nopal, porque pues no disfrutó mucho el cactus. Digamos, comerse el cactus es algo que todavía está procesando en su cabeza, right? It wasn't your favorite part of it.
I actually, I'm going to change my mind. It was my favorite part.
Okay, que sí le gustó. Dice, okay, again, they're asking when you're coming back to Mexico. But I'm not, you know.
I mean, like, we're going to come back really, you know, as soon as we can.
Yeah.
And everyone, I should point out
Last
that
questions.
I should point out that Anna and Benger and Oscar and Michael are very jealous that I'm here on my own. So they would love to be here.
Why did you bring them?
Why didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm sick of them. I've seen too much of
Punished. Let's punish them a little. Sí, dice que los demás integrantes de Metronomy están muy celosos de que él esté aquí. Digo, ¿por qué no los trajiste? Y me dijo, estoy harto de ellos. Ya no los aguanto. Ya no los aguanto. Ok, tenemos las últimas preguntas. Por acá, would you ever remix Latin artists? I mean, more apart from Jimena and stuff.
Of course. If someone asked, yeah.
So, are you like putting out there kind of an invitation? Is it okay for Latin artists to write to you and say, would you?
It's like, I'm not inviting them to invite me. They can just invite me
but it's
to do it if they, of course. Yeah, I mean, like, it's fine. Who should I do? I mean, like, who would be the best one for my career?
I don't know. I mean, one of the ones I mentioned earlier would be great. I mean, if you ever imagine a Metronomy remix.
Is that the
yeah. I mean, Metronomy, Luis Miguel Metronomy remix. That would be awesome. I mean, we have
who?
Luis Miguel. Do you know that guy? He's like the one that all the moms love.
Cool.
He just has a wonderful voice and is kind of a diva and stuff.
You should make a playlist for me or something.
Yeah.
To listen to this stuff.
Okay, I'll do so. I mean, you probably won't like it, but you can just laugh through the playlist. Bueno, pues dice, no estoy invitando a que me inviten a remixear, pero está bien, se pueden acercar o pueden escribir por si alguna banda mexicana o latina quiere los remixé, pero me pregunta cuál sería el mejor para mi carrera. Yo creo que un remix de Luis Miguel, Metronomy, sería brutal. En plan, el encuentro de dos mundos. So we have a couple of questions more, and that's it. How did the collaboration with Robin happen?
So she just got in touch one day, and invited me for dinner. And that was like I feel like it was 2013, something like that, like a long time ago.
So a long time ago, yeah.
And then she mentioned like the idea of doing some stuff, and then it wasn't until quite a few years later that we actually like finally did some work together. And what I realized was that she doesn't really work with lots of people. Like she has a kind of a small group of collaborators, and she was kind of like grooming me.
Yeah, well, like let me take him out for dinner.
Yeah, no, but I think she was, she was basically like, like getting to know me, and I think you have to kind of be friends with her before you can work with her in a way.
How many dinners or yeah before you could?
No, like so it wasn't that formal. Like we went for dinner, and then like we did a couple of other fun things together, like, and then.
You drink together?
Well, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. and then
like
she
drunk. Yeah.
and then she came to Paris, and that's when we started kind of working. But it was like it kind of started off as like little small steps, and then it became. Then one day she was like, "I'd like you to produce the whole album."
Oh my!
And I was like, "Wow!" And I was like, "I'd love to." And then I didn't hear from her for like 6 months.
And then she wrote again.
And then we got back together, but she was going through a real like crazy. Tough time in her life, so yeah. But anyway, yeah, she basically needed to gain my trust or something like that. She needed to trust me.
Connection.
Yeah.
Bonding.
We've bonded.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. Bueno, pues como sucedió lo de Robin y la colaboración, dice, pues me empezó a invitar a cenar, como que hicimos algunas cosas divertidas juntos. Ella no trabaja con cualquiera, tiene que ser con la gente que está cerca de ella. Entonces empezamos a llevarnos bien, empezamos a salir. Le digo, bueno, ¿chuparon juntos? Sí, claro que chupamos juntos, bebimos juntos. Y bueno, pues al final me dijo, prodúceme todo el disco. Luego ya no volví a escuchar en 6 meses de ella. Y bueno, pues finalmente así es como se dio la colaboración con Robin, que por sí estaba pasando por una etapa de su vida un poco locochona. So this is the last one. Which is the album of the year so far?
Album of the year? Metronomy.
Yeah, not yet.
Oh, no, it's not
Not yet.
Album of the year.
I wouldn't be able to answer that, I don't know yet.
I've been really enjoying this band called Joy Again.
Okay.
Who are like from Philadelphia, and they've got an EP. It's not really an album, but it's quite a long EP.
So you would go for that.
It's called Piano.
Joy, right?
Joy Again.
Joy Again.
But they're really cool.
Okay. Le gusta una banda que se llama Joy Again de Filadelfia. Es un EP, no es realmente un disco, pero eso es lo que me ha gustado. Y bueno, ya después de septiembre seguramente será Metronomy Forever. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been fun, and it's nice to have you here. And I guess I'll see you this afternoon.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to talk about gigs.
No. Don't worry, I won't be asking that anymore. No. I'll see you this afternoon on the radio. And, anything else you want to add for the Mexican people watching?
We will be here soon to
Van a
perform
estar
for
aquí
you.
pronto
And we can't wait.
Y no podemos esperar. Así que cuando tengan noticias seguramente las darán. Do you actually check and use your social media, Metronomy social media?
Yeah, I do the Instagram. That's all.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Can you share with us? Which is the Instagram for Metronomy?
At Metronomy.
That's it. That was good luck.
All of them are. I think we've got them all. Yeah.
Bueno, pues entonces busquen a Metronomy en todas las redes sociales, en especial en Instagram, porque Joseph es quien lleva el Instagram, lo cual siempre es una motivación, y no pensar que le estás escribiendo al community manager de tu banda favorita, sino que sí es